What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So obviously you guys know that my truck went under a major surgery and they took a lot of things out, and I'm happy to report that it made it through, and some of the things that we took out weren't able to go back in. I'm sorry, I just can't help myself. But yes, in this video I wanted to discuss a few things that you probably didn't think about if you're on this journey of weight loss program. There's so many things that don't really come up, and so I want to make this video kind of like a part one here. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I want to show you guys something I got in the mail. This was recommended to me, and I'm going to have DieselR Corp incorporate this with them if they're able to do so, just because it might be worth it to have, at least point people in the right direction where to get it, because this is very necessary. Let's jump into the video. So this is the box of junk that we will be cleaning and putting back in my truck at some point, right? And EGR, look how big this stuff is. I mean, this is just insane. This is a cooler, and this won't be going back in. This is the CCV system, which is junk. That's your DLC, so that sits right behind the turbocharger, and DPF is right here. It might be too dark for you guys to see in there, but yeah, that's your DPF. That's part of the EGR. Some of the piping in here, like this piping here, is probably part of that system. My old up pipes are in there. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So obviously when you don't put this stuff back on, what happens to those plugs? That's why I'm doing this video here, because I'll be honest with you guys, I was gonna have to go out and just buy these from the dealer, and then someone told me, hey, you don't have to do that. You can just get the dummy plugs from a company. And I went through Shibby Engineering. So they have what looks to be probably, I would say, most of the ones for under the truck here. Also, there's a couple, I believe, inside the engine bay that did not get plugged back in. So we'll see. If worse comes to worse, I will probably still take some of those plugs and just, you know, wrap them with something. You do not want those plugs to stay open to the elements, because that will affect the CAN bus system on your truck. And I've seen it happen many of times. So even though your truck is tuned, if your truck throws a code, you can keep clearing it, but it's gonna keep coming back, because your truck's gonna think there's something wrong, and there is something wrong. Your plugs are exposed to the elements, and they're gonna send signals back to the ECM to let it know. So yeah, let's see here. I only know of two under the hood that I found. I might have to get my ladder and really climb in here deep. But yeah, the only two plugs that I've seen so far is this one here, one, and two, and I don't think that there's a plug in here for these, to be completely honest with you. So I may have to still buy something for those. Now, I think the knock sensor, so you guys see actually, well, right here, you guys see this. This was the temp sensor for, I believe, the DOC. And yeah, we're still kind of figuring out what I want to do with this. I may actually buy either a new downpipe, or I might actually just drill a hole in that so I can use a temp sense. So that's something else I'm going to talk to DieselR Corp about as well. I may buy a new downpipe with a temp sensor. We did cut the one off the DLC. Well, I did, because I got tired of trying to, you know, get it off, because when it's back there, it is really hard to get that thing loose. So I said, let's just cut this off and move on. And so I can just replace that in the future. And they do have downpipes, I didn't know this at the time, that will have temp sensor. Again, DieselR Corp, I'm going to be reaching out to them to discuss that. So with all of these dummy plugs here, we're gonna kind of see where they all go. I don't know if every plug under the hood will be covered. So again, I will have to probably still protect these plugs, you know, until I can either go to the dealership. I should have, you know, took note of what these plugs were, because this one here and this one, like I said, are probably a part of the EGR system, and we just didn't plug them back in. But yeah, everything else did get plugged in that was supposed to get plugged back in basically. So you guys see right here, hopefully you can see, I used 2 zip ties together here. And you guys see down here, these are both coolant lines. This one here, this is custom, and this one is custom. But for EGR, there should be 3 lines that you should have come in your kit. That way, the coolant line to the tank, we just did a custom one here. And the one that was supplied with the kit was this one. But we had to get another custom line here. So again, just do your research and just use my playlist here for as much as you can. But I didn't like the way this coolant line was rubbing against the engine. The engine is going to rock back and forth. So I didn't want this to obviously slice this. So you can see here, this puts no weight on this line, although it's held up here by a zip tie too. But I just wanted it off the engine, and that pretty much helped me out there. So yeah, just something I had to do because again, this is just all custom at this point, and maybe in the future I'll probably do something different, but I don't think I need to because this is perfect as of right now. But yeah, let's go ahead and take out some of these plugs so you guys can see them. Most of these are probably going to be for underneath the truck. I'm looking at them right now, and they all look to be for plugs underneath. My DEF tank is still underneath simply because there's no canvas plugs for that, so I didn't unplug that. It's still something that we're waiting on. And yeah, let's go ahead and pull these out and I'll show you what each one looks like. So I'm switching cameras here. So these are all the plugs I have left, and I'm willing to bet you some of these are going to be for the DEF system, and this kit was for 2017 to 2024, so I'm willing to bet you some of these plugs aren't even going to be used on these newer trucks. So right here, again, I apologize, I don't know what these plugs are for, but here's one of them here that I was able to plug up, and then this one here, right there. So those 2 are done. And I'm gonna turn my flashlight on my phone so you guys can see the one underneath that I was able to plug, and then the ones I was not able to plug. Hold on one second. I almost forgot. I always forget about this one plug down here, most likely a part of the EGR. So I have to actually zip tie this one up too. So, yep, that one right down there. And if I find any more, I'll let you know. So you guys see this part of the frame here, and then your torsion bar, and then there's a sensor right here. I believe this is a knock sensor. I can't remember now. And then, yeah, I believe this is a knock sensor. And then I had to plug this one right here. All right, so moving on down. Nothing on this side of the frame, but as you get further down, you'll see there's actually 2 plugs. This one and this one did not have something available in that package, okay? So this is the last plug that I have. And again, I apologize. These were just for probably temp sensors on the factory exhaust. So yeah, what I'm gonna do for now, I'm just going to wrap these up. You know, I'm gonna put some dielectric grease on them, and then maybe in the future, when I'm able to find a plug for these 2, I'll just go ahead and put those covers on. I just like the way these look better. And I mean, you could leave them dangling too. They're not hurting anything like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, these things are very important because of the canvas system. You do not want to throw codes, because again, you'll be trying to figure out where is this coming from, and then yep, it's just because you have these things unplugged. A little bit of water condensation gets in here, especially if you live in humid areas, and it'll just start sending wrong signals to that ECM that you don't want. But yeah, this kit, I will say, you guys will see the price here in a second. It's way too expensive for not being 100% like for every truck. I really wish they would just put every known sensor in there. Like, if you're gonna spend $145 for a bunch of plastic dummy plugs, that's a lot of money. I would have thought $50 was generous, but $145 for this, crazy. Now maybe there's something I don't know, but I think that's just highway robbery. But yeah, for people who want this nice look, yeah, that's what you have to pay for them. And I just think that they're just capitalizing on an opportunity. But I will definitely be doing more videos like this. I might combine this footage with another video in the future. But yeah, this is just something to consider. My DEF system is still, you know, like I said, intact. But I gotta show you guys one last thing here. So when you get your EGR kit, okay, here is some of the stuff that comes with that. By the way, when I drove my truck home, you guys can see all this white stuff. I'm pretty sure you guys can kind of figure out what that is, because there was a bolt in here and I guess it got spit out. But I put another one back in. But now that I have my truck tuned, all that is turned off. And so right here, this came with that EGR kit, and I can't remember where else we put the other one at. We did it so late. But yeah, right there's one. And the other side over here, let's see. We got to come back a little bit. I'll try to zoom out so you guys can see this, but right here, you guys see, this is the other thing you have to plug. I'm gonna zoom into it real quickly. But you have to plug that line, but that all comes a part of that EGR kit. Just keep that in mind. And that's gonna be for the 24s and most likely 25 plus trucks too. But I hope you guys like this video. Like I said, don't leave these plugs undone. I've seen many trucks that have weight loss, and people just don't think, oh, those systems are now turned off, so you don't have to worry about those plugs. And that is far from the truth, guys. So again, be sure to protect those. I'm gonna just go ahead and throw some, probably gonna find like some, I don't know, I'll figure out something and maybe I'll do a separate video on that. But yeah, for now, I'll just have to cover them somehow. And then if you have any ideas or some suggestions, let me know in the comment section. See you guys soon.